Right, another old song. Bloody cold in this room. This is called Live Out My Stars. Who needs to sleep? I play pinball till 3 in the night. Ain't got a job, I got a home, but I like the lifestyle. I listen to Bowie, I ride with him out through the stars. I live out my heroes, try to touch them, I live out my stars.
For me, he's like one of the superstars of my world. I can't imagine him not being famous to everyone else, because it seems so obvious.
Just heard about this guy with an acoustic guitar who was a punk poet, and I thought, okay, got to hear that. Just because anybody actually at the time that was doing something that wasn't just 4 blokes with live guitars, I thought it was fantastic, because it made the whole punk thing seem big and interesting and fascinating.
Well, he was a customer in the shop, and he used to come in with sort of like second-hand clothes from, you know, one of the charity shops, and it was rolled up sleeves because they were too long. That kind of. I liked the way he looked, and so. But he never really. He was very shy, and then one day he posted a cassette through the letterbox and ran away, you know. And I listened to this stuff, and I thought there was something very special about it, because, you know, it was it was his generation. I don't know how to explain it really, but I just thought, this guy's got talent, you know, songwriting talent, and he could play the guitar, and it just excited me really, basically, because I thought, you know, there was so much stuff. Each song, you know, and he was in this squat, creating all this, and you know, I was just intrigued.
Well, I guess they were just demos he did, which came out as records, but the sound quality on that was incredibly important to me, and I think it probably was to a lot of other people. The fact that you can actually hear the hiss of the tape recorder as it goes around, and the fact that you can actually hear him clicking it on and off, I think that's unbelievably important.
That idea that he's sitting in his bedroom playing, because I thought, well, that's what I do. I sit in my bedroom with my acoustic guitar and play, and so I just thought, yeah, you just get your tape and you give it to a record company, eventually it'll come out.
Because he was so nervous. In the end, because I think we took him to Southern Studios or somewhere like that, and in the end we some bloke in a terrace house had a sort of a 4-track, and Patrik was more comfortable in that situation, and so that's when we did the first EP.
Previous to punk, everything was like very, very carefully recorded in 48 tracks or 96 track recording studios.
Kind of, without putting it into words, he was just like, look, you don't need to go into a studio. You can just do it in your bedroom in a freezing cold flat somewhere with a crap tape recorder, and that's all you need to record music. And I think that was unbelievably liberating.
It was kind of logical that by the third EP we just thought, well, stick some cassette recordings on there.
One of the first things I heard, you know, next to John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, Patrik Fitzgerald complaining about how cold the flat was, whereas we recorded bloody freezing in here. Just that, really liberating.
The black and white racial disharmony, it's just a cover story, concocted to hide the fact that working class people are still being kicked all over the place.
I had been in trouble with the police a little bit, and I'd been in and out of prison and detention centres and borstals, and then I decided that I wanted to try and go straight. That was very difficult because of the crowd I was mixing with, you know, and guns were just coming into our communities and stuff like that. But I knew deep down I wanted to be a poet. And so I started to think about a way out, you know, how could I get out of this business? And one day, a friend of mine took me to visit a friend of his, and we walked into this house, and this house was decorated with basically pages of NME and sounds when it was like a newspaper. That was it. From the moment you walked in the door, you just started reading and reading. The whole house was decorated like that. And all this guy did all day was sit down and listen to music. And this guy played a Patrik Fitzgerald poem. It was an EP, and I remember Safety Pin Stuck in My Heart, which I thought was really strange and bizarre. And then I think the next track was Work, Rest, Play, Reggae. And as I was listening to it, the line really says, what have we got left? Nothing except for reggae.
So tell me, what we got left apart from reggae?
Shit. I mean, at this time, I was living in Handsworth. I used to call Handsworth a part of Jamaica. You know, I was really rooted in the black community. Didn't much mix with white kids. And to hear this white kid saying he ain't got anything but reggae, that's what's keeping him going on his white council estate in East London. And I compared that to my kind of black council estate in Birmingham. And I just thought, it just stuck with me. I just remember we got nothing left except for reggae, and it was just like, I know a white guy that really likes reggae. And that and a couple of other things just made me get up one morning, a couple of weeks after that, and say, right, I'm going to London.
From reggae.
And ironically, I ended up living just around the corner from Patrik Fitzgerald and Billy Bragg and this kind of East London alternative punky kind of scene.
And I mean, when I got his Safety Pins, the first one, you know, I mean, that obviously was the anthemic one that everyone really, and it's significant. I've got to say that even people who really weren't into sort of acoustic stuff or anything, just about everybody liked Safety Pin Stuck in My Heart. I mean, that was just the one that everybody thought, yeah, that has really got it.
When you listen to Safety Pin Stuck in My Heart properly, when you listen to the lyrics and soak them up, it's actually, you realise it's a love song for punk.
I think there are some songs from that whole sort of 1976 to 79 era that sum up that era for me and for the rest of the people in the band. And I think, we were never likely to go out and sort of cover a Sex Pistols song or a Clash song or something. I think that just the idea of taking something that's really nice and gentle and making it even more gentle and trying to say, look, this is about punk, and it's written by a punk, and it's from the time of punk, but it sounds beautiful and quiet, and it's got lovely chords, and that's just really appealing to us.
I just love you for that beating. I don't love you for your friends you never choose. I just love you for that beating. I've got a safety pin stuck in my heart for you. I've got a safety pin stuck in my heart for you. Safety pin stuck in my heart for you. Safety pin stuck in my heart for you. I don't love you for your many reasons, propagandas, doctrines, treasons. All I know is that beating. I've got an ear inflamed on my dog chain, painted faces, painted names, my shirt. It's all that beating. I've got a safety pin stuck in my heart for you. Safety pin stuck in my heart. For you. Safety pin stuck in my heart. For you. Safety pin stuck in my heart. For you.
I mean, I just love that era. Punk girls, I found, you know, the most sexiest girls in the world. They were supposed to not to be sexy or anything like that, you know, but I used to look at them and say, yeah, I want to be your safety pin.
I remember I got the Safety Pin in the Backstreet Boys EPs. I can't remember the venue, but it was definitely him with some bands, and I thought, this is really interesting. And he went down all right. He wasn't bottled off, and he didn't get a standing ovation. That's most of the times I saw Patrik, that's how it was. It was kind of, yeah, yeah, we sort of like this, but we don't quite know what to expect because it's so different. But we're not going to sort of be horrible to him because he's little, and the songs are quite interesting. So it was always a kind of, but I was absolutely enthused by it. I thought, bloody hell, this is great.
Patrik, I think, was the very first real punk poet. There were other punk poets. John Cooper Clarke was a different kind of poet. What Patrik was the very first of that breed that led to Billy Bragg and people like that. He was the guy with the acoustic guitar, with his interesting lyrics, and he was actually had something to tell us. I actually think he was more interesting than Billy Bragg, because whereas Billy was an old-fashioned socialist, Patrik was more question everything. And, you know, Billy Bragg wouldn't have done a song like Bingo Crowd, because Billy would have thought, well, they're honest, salt of the earth people. And they were, of course they were. But Patrik saying, no, I don't want to be like that. I don't be sitting down at the social club playing bingo on a Friday night. I want to do more with my life.
Anyway, before this man gets any more injured, let's have this week's support band, who aren't a band. It's Patrik Fitzgerald.
Bingo Crowd, this is called. All I want to know is eyes down and leave my brains at home. The blank generation sitting in rows, looking at numbers, picking their nose. The sound of knitting needles clickety-click. She just wants, so give her a kick. Stab her in the back when she gets outside, and don't talk to her just out of spite. The bingo crowd, I'd rather wear a shroud. The bingo crowd, I'd rather wear a shroud. She says maybe I'll be lucky tonight. I can feel it in my bones, along with the cold and the damp and the dust and the price of coal and the cost of phones. All I've got's my little game, it's my last chance to win some fame. I get dressed in my Sunday best and go down there and all the rest. But the bingo crowd, I'd rather wear a shroud. The bingo crowd, I'd rather wear a shroud. Said the bingo crowd, I'd rather wear a shroud. The bingo crowd, I'd rather wear a shroud. Cause all they wanna know is eyes down and leave their brains at leave their brains at home. Bye.
Well, first of all, I encouraged him to busk, to get a feel for performance and in front of people and all the rest of it. And the fact that he had the bollocks to sort of stand there with an acoustic guitar when everyone else is thrashing around, you know, throwing things at him. And I was impressed by his bollocks more than anything else, you know.
The Chaplin analogy makes sense too when you think of him as being, when you look at, you remember him, he was a very frail bloke. He was a little bloke, and he'd be wandering on stage. He's got his funny old red trousers, he's got his sandals on, and he's playing in front of an audience, but largely of skinheads. Great hulking, great brutes with DM boots and shaven heads, and not particularly interested in poetry. You're not going to compare anyone to A Summer's Day. You know, and he's gone on and he's daring to do this stuff and ignoring the insults and carrying on. He had a lot of bottle to do that. It took guts to do that, and you knew then that this guy was not just an eccentric person, but also an interesting person.
One sort of favourite moment was a punk guy called Donald, who was a real hardcore right-wing punk, skinhead actually. He was a hardcore right-wing skinhead, and he got a real soft spot for me, and he would actually like do things like hold the microphone up to my mouth for a whole set, you know, because there was no microphone stands, and like, you know, if anybody sort of came anywhere near me, he'd offer to nut them.
Well, my mate Dan went to the anti-Nazi carnival in London and came back and told all these stories about seeing Patrik Fitzgerald, and people had been throwing bottles at him on stage and all this sort of stuff.
Surprisingly, it didn't get me killed. It almost got me killed several times, but, you know, never did. So.
I think the first time I saw him, I hitched down to London to the Hope and Anchor and saw him. And I think he'd only had, maybe it was the second single had been out by then, but he was, had this idea that he was this fantastic, you know, sort of genius songwriter that loads and loads of people went to see, and it was a big cult thing. And I went there and I remember thinking, there's sort of 25 people here, and half of them were sort of stood at the bar not really paying any attention. I just thought it was criminal, because he was just fantastic.
The fact that I was just playing with an acoustic guitar meant that a lot of people were quite happy to put me on, because, you know, it's like there's no sound check, there's no this and no that, and you know, you don't have to shift the drum kit round and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of people kind of thought that I was a really good person to have as a support thing, because they could literally move the equipment around behind me and stuff like that while I was playing. But at the same time, again, it's like, you know, a lot of the hardcore punk people would say, well, it's not really loud, it's not really thrashy, therefore it's not punk.
Patrik was the first person that I heard that I just felt, you know, I got told about how he'd be supporting these big bands like The Jam or something just by himself, and he'd get bottled off and whatever it was, and I'd just be like, you know, that is punk, you know, that is more punk than the punks. And also like the idea that he could just get up on stage, having just written a song that afternoon, if need be, on his guitar, play a couple of chords and get on stage and sing it, I just thought was genius.
The thing that struck me about Patrik actually was that so many of the punks at the time kind of were, for want of a better word, kind of slightly dirty, you know, but Patrik was quite clean, you know. He looked kind of... He looked almost kind of innocent in a way.
I had this huge empathy with him. I immediately thought, you know, this is really good. This is really worthwhile. You know, this is going to help me get some understanding of what I want to do.
The first time I saw Patrik Fitzgerald live, as a gig, I can't really remember where it was. It was an open air gig. And it was one of those real punk gigs. I mean, people were spitting, people were throwing bottles and things that people they like. I was thinking, what happens if they don't like you, you know? These are people they like. And Patrik came on, and actually at this particular gig, I think by then people knew who he was, because you know, as soon as his name was said, you know, he was welcomed on stage. But yes, it was his size. He was so small.
Basically, I thought that the way that he just sort of cropped up in unlikely places, doing something which was pretty unlikely at the time anyway, was just was great. And I think, like, I've seen him in various different places. I remember once going to see him supporting Roy Harper. It was a little bit later on, and it was almost the same as when you saw him playing with punk bands. He was sort of a bit sort of weird and strange and didn't really fit in. And then when you saw him playing to lots of people who were sitting in nice sort of easy chairs, sitting around waiting for Roy Harper, he was also weird and strange and interesting, but in a completely different way. In that way, he was suddenly angry and angsty and out of order, and you know. And so I just thought, this is great. It doesn't really fit in anywhere, and that's probably a really good place to be.
you couldn't ever call Patrik folk, which is interesting. You couldn't call him anti-folk either, even though quite clearly all these people who call themselves anti-folk now have more in common with Patrik Fitzgerald than they do with Bob Dylan.
It's quite nice to come back and prove that you don't have to be the pretty guy from the army or Jack Johnson going surfing on the quiet or any of those guys. You don't have to be those people to be a person with an acoustic guitar.
Slowly feeling ill, can't explain the way I feel. People die and so will I. It could be slow, it could be quick, slow. It all seems such a waste. God will give you just one taste, only one sip of his wine, only one life. Cats get 9, feeling bored. That's no fun, being out of touch with everyone. Click my fingers, crack my toes. I'll kick the dog and break its nose. Intellectualise it all to prove my mind still on the ball. Or go spy on the neighbours next door, listen to them through the wall. They do the same they did last night. First they argue, then they fight, then they screw just to please me. It's just about more fun than TV. People die, I will soon, and then I won't write any more tunes, and I won't stand here and talk to you and wonder what the fuck to do tonight. 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 Dying slowly, feeling ill, can't explain the way I feel. People die and so will I. It could be slow, it could be quick, slow. It all seems such a waste. God will give you just one taste, only one sip of his wine, only one life. Cats get 9, feeling bored. That's no fun, being out of touch with everyone. I'll click my fingers, crack my toes, kick the dog and break its nose. I intellectualise it all to prove my mind's still on the ball. I'll go spy on the neighbours next door, listen to them through the wall. They do the same they did last night. First they argue, then they fight, then they screw just to please me. It's just about more fun than TV, but people die. I will soon, and then I won't write any more tunes, and I won't stand here and talk to you and wonder what the fuck to do tonight. 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 Tonight.
It was pretty obvious to anybody, really, that I mean, you know, Patrik being one of the most punk of all the punks. I mean, that's pretty self-explanatory, you know, because most of the punks weren't singing about alienation. Well, a lot of them were, but not as eloquently. You know, certainly not as eloquently, and the idea of kind of just being so naked on stage, you know, that being that raw, being able to show bone. That to me is completely punk.
And people have said to me, in fact, how do you feel about being described as a punk poet? And I kind of think, well, you know, in England people kind of tend to need labels, and I think that if you're going to have a label, maybe that's as long as people's understanding of what punk is or was or can be is fairly broad, then that's fine. I have no problem with that.
If you really feel that no one's paying attention to you, and you really feel that no one cares about what you do, you just do it anyway, because it's like, fuck them, you know, fuck them, because it doesn't make any difference. You just do what the hell you like, and if other people latch onto it, that's great. If they don't, well, you're kind of used to that anyway, so what the hell, it doesn't matter. And I think that's what, you know, that's why he kind of perseveres
all the years of trying, all the many interviews to get your views across, but they always got lost. You always nearly made it. Your records never sold as many as your record company hoped they would. And you never made, you never made the top 30. But you did sell some records, sold them to the ones who wanted them, who treasure them and keep them with their other souvenirs, never to be sold. And all the years of trying, all the many interviews to get your views across, but they always got lost. You always nearly made it. Your records never sold as many as you hoped they would. But now you've made that one, that elusive one. Now you've made that one, that elusive one, and now you are a failure, and now you are a success. 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 And now you are a success. 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 And after all the years of trying,
the great thing was, it was when he spoke, I could see that he was a true poet, because he looked at the world slightly differently from everybody else. He had a particular take on the world. And you know, a lot of poets and painters and all kinds of people do that, but it's about whether you can convey that to the audience and you're not speaking over their heads. And that was it. When I heard Patrik, I just went, you know, I am a young, angry, black Rastafarian, and I identify with everything he's saying.
My father worked for 30 years in a factory. What did it do? It killed him. What did he get? Not very much. A wife, a home, my sister and me. I ain't gonna work in no factory. A golden handshake or a premature burial. That's all you'll ever get. Leaving school. Careers advice. What do you want to do? What you got? What you good at? I'm quite good at art. They got me an interview. Job as a cartographer. Drawing maps. See the world. The job was in Hounslow, not very far. 4 hours travelling there and back on the train and the bus every day. Didn't get to the interview, didn't get the job, didn't want the job.
So I settled for an office job, then another 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 office job, then another, then I got bored with office jobs. So it's down to the unemployment. What do you want to do? What you got? What you good at? I'm quite good at arts. So I thought I'd be a pop star. Nice easy career opportunity. Pop star, I don't wanna be, this is not what I wanna do. Pop star, I don't wanna be, I've got no choice. Have you? Pop star, I don't wanna be, this is not what I wanna do. Pop star, I don't wanna be, I've got no choice. Have you? Thank you. I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as grey as all the others, just like the old pullovers that I used to wear, hanging on the back of an armchair. No, I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as grey as all the others, with nothing to look forward to and nothing to look back upon and nothing there at all, in fact, but pictures on the wall in the living room. Because I want a life. Because I want a life. Drowning in each other's arms, one has gone used sink, and only sit there waiting for yourself to go. To see the pearly gates, the cosy chairs, the holy curtains, compare them to the ones you used to own. But I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as grey as all the others, just like all the clouds you see through out your windows, drifting by and no one ever says a word about them. Because I want a life. Because I want a life. Because I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as ugly as you. I don't want to end up as ugly as ugly as ugly as ugly as ugly as ugly as you.
The paranoid ward. The room was quiet. The brains buzzed in all directions, but more quietly. The old man and his friend watched TV. It was a rugby match. The men gathered in for the scrummage, heads down. The old man shook his friend's arm urgently and whispered, nodding towards the rugby players, "Here, they're talking about me."
Some I haven't seen for ages, I know where they are, though. You don't need no imagination, you don't need no peephole brain. I've seen them lying in the pictures, seen them lying in the road, seen them lying over cars in junkyards. Some are starved of bread and butter, wouldn't sell their pride. Dead as all the others are, but they don't even realise that all my friends are dead now. Try to be a bit too brave. Looking round they found a different kind of life to lead, but it beat them all, and 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 all my friends are dead now. They could be waiting round the corner, There's such a scarifying sight to see. They could be waiting for a straying loner. They could be waiting for you or me. The patter of footsteps through an alleyway. Impatient in the dark, they wait to pounce. They don't look far when they want trouble. They know it at a glance. But imagine you look like a boy that they want after. There's a face on the file, they don't care for why. And it's no good getting nothing or you lose your teeth in their laughter. And it's no good acting timid, no use coming on shy. With the Backstreet Boys. Oh, the Backstreet Boys. Hear them running wild and stony. You know the sound of violence, it frightens me. But I just pray that they don't know me. And think it's better to hear than see. But then I think to myself, that maybe it's me that they're trailing. They stop you, no questions asked, no time to spare. And your eyes half asleep, and your energy failing. And it's time to disappear, but they're always around somewhere. And you move and you show, and their fingers point, and off they go. And you breathe and they know, and they'll hear you when you tiptoe. And there's a lot of them, and you're only one. And your nerves at every shadow say to turn and run. They'd like you to turn, they'd like you to run. Would the Backstreet Boys, the Backstreet Boys, the Backstreet Boys, the Backstreet Boys, the Backstreet Boys. Thank you. Hello, I'm a reject. There's one arm hang down longer. Hello, I'm a reject, and I can't think of no more words for songs. Just gonna dance despite our aging limbs. Gonna sing despite the pessimism, and we're not gonna worry if we're old or new. Just hello, I'm a reject. Does it look as I have three eyes to you? Hello, I'm a reject. Stamped across my. Hello, I'm a reject, like a slice of Scando bacon. Hello, I'm a reject, like a pig to the slaughter, don't know, don't care, just we're gonna dance despite our aging limbs. We're gonna sing despite the pessimism, and we're not gonna worry if we're old or new. Just hello, I'm a reject. Me got no brain. Me subject myself to you and all your philosophising. Me got no brain. Follow me, follow me. Hello, I'm a reject. My leg look bendy, toy grow more. Hello, I'm a reject, and I can't think of no more words or songs. Just we're gonna dance despite our aging limbs. We're gonna sing despite the pessimism, and we're not gonna worry if we're old or new. Just hello, I'm a reject. Thank you. Searching for a pair of wings, I try so hard to fly, but I'm just tied down by earthly things and watching people live and die. Maybe I'll be your social worker, help you solve your problems. I'd rather be a super being flying far away, away. Because everything depresses me, I only see the black side. Looking round from day to day, an emptiness inside surrounds me. I'm just a vessel, vessels quickly crack. I'd rather be a super being flying far away, away. Cause right now I'm just your problem page you write to when you're down. I'm semi-dead already, I'm semi-living with a frown. Maybe I'll be your charity, will money buy you better days? I'd rather be a super being flying far away, away. So if you give me a pair of wings, then I will learn to fly. I'll skip the ordinary, I'll avoid the live and die. Everything depresses me, there are no valid reasons why. I will be a super being, I will learn to fly away. When you were a boy, you always wanted to be someone. You knew you never would be when you thought about it lunchtimes. An ordinary job, not what you wanted, what you got though. It's not enough, it's never enough. Well, maybe someone told you of adventures late at night, a borrowed car, a cul-de-sac, a factory like you've seen on the television. Wire in the lock, click the catch and easy pickings. It's not enough, it's never enough. From criminal to popstar, you'll be captured every time. It's all sewn up with stitches so fine that you can't see them to unravel. And when you were a boy, you always wanted to be someone. Think about it twice, it's far less effort to be just a nice boy. Do what you're told. And now I'm wearing neutral clothes, far from any danger zone. All I want from life is a bus to take me home. Wearing neutral clothes, far from any danger zone. All I want from life is a bus to take me home. Wearing neutral clothes, far from any danger zone. All I want from life is a bus to take me home. Wearing neutral clothes, far from any danger zone. All I want from life is a bus to take me home. Thank you. who needs to sleep? I play pinball till 3 in the night. Ain't got a job, ain't got a home, but I like my lifestyle. I listen to Bowie, I ride with him out through the stars. I live out my heroes, try to touch them, I live out my stars. Well, I've got my face, I've got my clothes, and I'm dressing the part. But I've got a trade hustling Americans with ice stone cold hearts. I mix with the bill riding fast in their big German cars. I live out my heroes, try to touch them, I live out my stars. I got my girl, she got me, and that's all that I need. Cruising the streets, I'm on natural juvenile speed. Singing the blues from the doorway, submitting to greed. Singing the blues just for you, I make my heart bleed. So who needs to sleep? I'm alive until darkness turns bright. Ain't got a job, ain't got a home, but I like my lifestyle. I listen to Bowie, I ride with him out through the stars. I live out my heroes, try to touch them, I live out my stars. I've got my girl, she's got me, and that's all that I need. Cruising the streets, I'm on natural juvenile speed. Singing the blues from the doorway, submitting to greed. Singing the blues just for you, I make my heart bleed. I got my girl, she's got me, and that's all that I need. Cruising the streets, I'm on natural juvenile speed. Singing the blues from the doorway, submitting to greed. Singing the blues just for you, make my heart bleed. She's growing up a trendy like all the others, waiting for her motherhood. Look at the clothes she's wearing now, pseudo, ludo, clue, though she hasn't got. I don't like her, she gives me the creeps. She can't dress up for real, she hasn't got the feeling. She's growing up a trendy like all the others, waiting for her motherhood. Give her a baby and she'll be happy, her life's sorted out for good. I don't like her, she gives me the creeps. Look at the things she's reading, watching, seeing, saying, doing, being trendy. Being trendy, being trendy, being trendy. She's growing up a trendy like all the others, waiting for her motherhood. Look at the clothes she's wearing now, pseudo, ludo, clue, though she hasn't got. I don't like her, she gives me the creeps. She can't dress up for real, she hasn't got the feeling. She's growing up a trendy like all the others, waiting for her motherhood. The first moment he knew there was something wrong was when his radio set started picking up interference. The people that he had been speaking to couldn't hear anymore, couldn't hear anymore. Thoughts began to run around his head, the sense of defeat that everybody had grown used to started creeping up on him also. Now bit by bit by bit by bit, but he never stopped working on his brave invention. But he never stopped working on his brave invention. A knock at his door, two men at his back, one at each shoulder. A life sentence, a life sentence, a life sentence, a life sentence waiting for him. Life sentence waiting for him.
From now on, the rest of the people playing tonight are doing covers of Patrik Fitzgerald's songs.
And they carry on. And they struggle on down corridors that haven't been swept for years.
How the fuck do we know to make things change? You're the ones with the know-how, you're the ones with the brains. How the fuck do we know what to do? We're not given any insights, not even given a public view.
He's been sitting here for years. I wonder who gave him his throne. Perhaps the King of England, perhaps the King of Rome, perhaps his friends and relatives who bought in some war. Perhaps his mum to cheer him up, she bought in a store. Joke figure, joke figure.
For me, though, life just carries on, though everything seems sadder. Knowing the sound of the needles clicker to click. She just wants to give her a kick. Stab her in the back when she gets outside. But don't talk to her, just out of sight.
And you're a lot of them, and there's only one. Thirds on these shadows that turn and run, and they like you to turn, they like you to run. What the Backstreet Boys? The Backstreet Boys. The Backstreet Boys.
Now I don't know what your daddy would say if he knew your friends refused to work. But I say up the revolution and up your dad. And if he wants to kill himself, that's his dirt. We got the ragged generation for real now. Revolution with a rock and roll feel. We got the ragged generation for real. We got
so many people wanna know me. So if you wanna know me right now, you better make some kind of an effort. When I get famous, there'll be so many people clamoring to touch my hand. I don't care if your love ain't real, I just want to know that feel. I want someone to love me, I want someone to love me, because you rejected me, you rejected me. But when I get famous, there'll be so many people wanna know me. I'll be able to pick and choose, and you'll be just one in a line. When I get famous, there'll be so many people clamoring to touch my fingertips. I don't care if their love ain't real, I just want to know that feel. I want someone to love me, I want someone to love me, because you rejected me, you rejected me. But when I get famous, there'll be so many people wanna know me.
Life at the top can be hard, can be tough, but I won't let this life get me down. Time can be hard, so much space to fill, but so few chances. But I won't let this life get me down. Now I've sold my soul for a dime, just for tax returns and just to be recognized. But I won't let this life get me down. Thanks, good night.
Thank you again.
Come and get your punk in Woolworths. Bondage trousers, £12.
Mohair jumpers sold next to cardigans.
It always comes around.
They turn it into a joke.
Anything that threatens them.
Turn it into a dog or a cat that they can stroke and can bite its own tail.
They make it safe.
I don't want to fight no Teds, skinheads, punks, Muslims, anybody else. And they shouldn't want to fight me. The people that I want to fight are the people that rule my life. But they've got just that little bit too much sus and always stay one step ahead. But when they've dished out all their bullshit, it makes it pretty easy to make it safe.
So punk ain't gonna change the world. Where's all the bands that were gonna?
Maybe it's just the fashion, I don't know.
Come and get your punk in Woolworths. Bondage trousers, £12. Mohair jumpers sold next to cardigans. It always comes around.
They make it safe.
They'll make it safe.
They make it safe.
Buy me, sell me, I'm in a Dalton's Weekly. I'm not me now anymore. Buy me, sell me, now I'm product. Why me? Want something different? Yes please, oh well. Isn't it tough at the top, they all say? Don't complain. So buy me, sell me, I'm in a Dalton's Weekly. Page 14, very rare, picture sleeve and turquoise hair. See me, feel me, nothing but the real me. In the shops, in the racks with all the others back to back. Isn't it tough at the top, they all say? Shut up. So buy me, sell me, I'm in a Dalton's Weekly. I'm not me now anymore. Bye.